Hi, this is Wayne Williams of Speaking of Horses, and we're proud to be partnering with Northwest Horse Source, bringing you videos about the horse industry through our association with this publication, Northwest Horse Source. So, let's watch our current video. A gentleman that I run into many times around the country,
More than we
care to mention,
sometimes.
I guess, is with me today, and I'm really glad to have him with us. It's Mr. Robert Eversole.
Yes.
And he has a company, a website, everything called Trail Meister.
Trail Meister. Trail, M-E-I-S-T-R.
So if you took a little German in school, or you are German, then you know what the Meister part of it is. But anyway, Robert, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the site. By the way, is about places to go trail ride and all your adventures trail riding. So
Yes.
tell us how you got into this.
Well, I got into horses like a lot of folks late in life. I met my wife through a therapeutic horse riding program. I decided I wanted to hang out with her more, and that meant learning about horses.
Now, I notice you're listed as an instructor with PATH.
Yes, I am a registered instructor with PATH International. I am the Wednesday night guy at Free Rein in Spokane.
Wow.
And my kiddos are the best in the world.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, PATH is the governing body over all of the therapeutic riding programs in North America.
It is, and it's a long process to get certified, at least it was for me. It was a lot of work, it was worse than grad school, but it makes my heart happy to work with the children and adults with challenges and to teach equitation. It is phenomenal. I'm blessed to be able to do it. But you asked about Trail Meister and what I do. That's kind of how I got into horses. And so after we started volunteering and teaching at therapeutic centers, well, then that led into horses of our own. And then being a good Midwestern boy, I had to have a job for the horses. So we joined a mounted search and rescue. At East Fork State Park, volunteer mounted search and rescue, east of Cincinnati. And that was fabulous, and that led into trail riding. My very first trail saddle was a dressage rig that I drilled D's into. But it worked. And that led, the trail riding led into, where are new places to ride? What can I expect there? What are the rules? What are the regs? Can I back my trailer up to turn around? And I just couldn't find good information. And so I decided that I'd create my own, and that's how Trail Meister got started. Over 2,000 places now across North America and Canada.
Are all listed on your site.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah. Now, you do reviews on these places too, right?
I do reviews. A lot of people send in information. I dearly wish that I could go to all these places, but I can't. So people send in information, and before they go live on the site, either myself or one of my trail bosses has a conversation with the land manager to make sure that all the information is copacetic. Because the last thing I want to do is have an adventure just getting to an area.
Right, and you don't want to put out details on a place that, years
That aren't true.
Yeah, years ago, when I worked for a power company, they had a program where if you were building a total electric house, then you got your service free to you. I mean, there was no charge for putting in the service to your meter, no matter where you were. There were two guys in southern Indiana had a shack put up, and they had to build 3 miles of line through the woods to get to this house because it was total electric, and what it was a hunting shack with 2 light bulbs.
Oh,
That's
my.
it. The money would never be recouped. So, it met the letter of the law, so to speak.
Right.
But it sure wasn't what anybody expected. So that's what you're trying to.
Yes, I'm trying to let people avoid that.
Right.
And so far, it's just been fabulous. The website somehow turned into the clinician circuit, and it's been phenomenal.
Well, yeah, because you're going on now. Well, I was with you in Pomona, California
Yes.
a few weeks ago. And, you've got a lot of places you're going now. You're telling people about what you're putting all this data together that, and my wife and I trail ride. And,
Hopefully everybody listening trail rides.
Well, that's the idea. But we are always, we know the favorite places we like to go, but then you're always thinking, I'd like to try someplace different. And if you haven't been there, who wants to hook up and take the gooseneck and the horses and drive 500 miles and discover you don't have any?
Right. Or worse, having to, or feeling like you have to take the car for a long trip just to make sure that everything's all right. I think a lot of us have gone that route.
Right.
You know, and life's too short for that.
So you trail ride a lot of places though, right?
A few.
You do some stuff up in the mountains, backpacking and the likes. Tell us about some of those excursions.
Oh, heavens. The older I get, I used to think trail riding and day rides were just the best thing in the world. And then I discovered horse camping at the trailhead and established horse camps. And then I fell in with some bad influences, some fellas from the Backcountry Horseman organization. And they started taking me into the backcountry. And that's how I got introduced to packing. So now I'm blessed to be able to do some volunteer packing for the Forest Service, packing and trail crews, work parties, things like that through the summer. So I've kind of moved from trailhead camping more to the backcountry trips, and I wind up spending most of my summers in wilderness areas now, and it's fabulous. It's glorious.
And you still live around Spokane, Washington,
yes,
right?
yes, just outside of Spokane.
So, and that's gorgeous country. You can get over into Coeur d'Alene, Idaho very quickly.
Coeur d'Alene is great.
Gorgeous territory.
It is. I'm 3 hours from the west side of the Bob Marshall Wilderness, twice the size of Rhode Island, 1.5 million acres of wilderness. No wheels, no machines, just us and the horses and the bears and the lions.
You know, we always say, and it's been said many times, that you can travel this country by car and see what man has made, but you can travel it by horseback and see what God has made.
That is so true.
And it's just gorgeous. You can't beat it, you know. You're out there in those wildernesses that are untouched.
Yes.
You know, all the wildlife is there, and the deer in the area, they haven't seen many other, so, you know, your horses are coming, they're right there looking at you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What is that? They haven't had the experiences of being spooked away.
Exactly.
And they don't know that they're supposed to go down the highway and cross at that sign that says deer crossing.
Oh, heavens. Well, you're so far away from that sign at the highway.
I'm kidding,
it's
because
something.
that's an old joke about a lady that
Yeah.
thought that was put up, so they could, never mind. That's a long story. But
Oh, my.
it's a lot of fun, and your site gathers all the information you can acquire on these places.
Correct.
Verifies the information.
Correct.
So that people that want to trail, and you want to find someplace around the country, you got maps, you got details, you got all that on Trail Meister, and that's spelled Meister, Trail Meister, all one word, .com. And you can look it all up. Now, you're speaking here. Where do you go from here?
From here, I got to go home for a week, and then I'll be in Albany, Oregon.
I will be there with you.
It's a small world.
I'll be in Albany, Oregon.
Yeah, and then from Albany, it's the Midwest
Horse Fair.
in Madison, and then Minnesota the following weekend.
You are busy.
Yeah, it's.
You're almost as busy chasing these around as I am.
I think so. But it's been this weekend has been, you know, I tell people what works for me, and hopefully through some of my misadventures, you know, people can learn what not to do or what they want to try.
Yeah.
And to have this room, you can't see it here, but this is a big room, and to have it standing room only for some of these talks where we talk about things to carry in case of an emergency,
Right.
or that type of stuff, it makes my heart happy.
Well, you see, but that's where you go beyond just a directory.
Yes.
I mean, I'm holding right here, for those of you that are watching this on camera rather than listening on radio, it's a trail directory from the state of Tennessee for the horse trails, which I just picked up, so
Right,
I
which
can
is a
have
fabulous guide,
Yeah,
yes.
it is. But it doesn't go into a lot of the other things, and you go another step in your talks, and you talk about things you need to take on the ride, stuff you need to have. We were just discussing before this interview, first aid kits.
Yes.
A basic first aid kit, so, because
And the knowledge to use it.
and the knowledge to use it, absolutely. So there's a lot of things, you know, a lot of other details that you bring to the program, and that's
Thank
why
you.
And that's why you had standing room only. There's a lot of directories.
Yes,
But
there
you
are.
take the directory, research the places so that people trust your opinion, and then you come with the rest of the, as Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story.
And that's
and
true.
there it is, you know.
And, you know, with having that, and that puts a lot of pressure on me to make sure that the directory, that Trailmeister stays up to date. The last thing I want to do is, you know, by error or omission, give somebody the bad
Right.
scoop. So we're constantly going through, constantly updating, because I want our adventures to be on the trail, not otherwise.
Right. I've had some of the otherwises over
Oh,
the years.
heavens,
Well,
yes.
so has everybody.
Yes.
Okay? And, you know, there are times I said, man, I just got lucky there.
Yes.
The good Lord was watching out for me because I wasn't handling it on my own.
Oh, heavens.
But anyway, we're about to run out of time here, but it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And again, the website for Robert is www.trailmeister.com. And check him out. Check out what he has to show you. Trail Meister, they've got nice little cards, but all the details are there. And also, if you have trail ride symposiums, if you're into trail riding, you have horse fairs or expos, where you need somebody to really address things, get a hold of Robert.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on Speaking of Horses. We're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Well, we were glad to have Robert Eversole on the program. He lives in the state of Washington, does a lot of wonderful work with trails. Be sure and check back next for another video for the Northwest Horse Source. Look him up online. I'm Speaking of Horses.